Welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. I'm the host of the most Black Spartan, of course, the man to my left, your right, show guy Joe, sir. Still functional, but how you doing this evening?
I'm very tired.
But still functional. I'll give you props for that.
It's been a heck of a week.
Oh, I will relate to that. But as you can see with us guys, we are the Give It Podcast. Of course, we are two seasoned gamers, which means that sometimes words do fly, but we don't try to cuss all the time. At the same time, there may be things that might be shown that might be too intense for younger viewers. So if your discretion is advised, aside from that, welcome. So how do we start this? Well, we can start this really on some good news, especially if you're a Ghostbusters fan with Frozen Empire, because Frozen Empire last opened up last weekend. Joe, of course, was a part with the Tennessee Ghostbusters, was up the week before to the premiere in New York, which you can definitely check our previous podcast as he got to rub elbows with some very famous celebrities. But last week's box office with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was $45 million debut. However, with the total movie amount for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is about to approach the $1 billion mark. That is a very good sign for the second, we can't really call it a reboot, more like a continuation of the original story, which says a lot that Frozen Empire at this point has gotten nothing but rave reviews. There may have been one or two reviews out there, but let's be honest, it's critics. Critics are paid to basically be negative. But again, Joe, because Joe has seen the movie and I've yet to see the movie. I can't wait to actually see Frozen Empire myself. But Joe, for all those that didn't really see our podcast last week, what was your take on Frozen Empire one more time?
It was enjoyable. It was like watching an episode of the real Ghostbusters. It's a good continuation. It's Ghostbusters 4, Frozen Empire to me. I mean, it just is. It just continues everything going forward. Some people aren't liking it. Critics, some Ghostbuster fans, and to which I say, don't add to the river of slime underneath the city. We don't need that.
Ghostbusters 2. But no, again, it's from what I've read and from what Joe has told me, it just seems like it's a great movie. At the same time, I have questions that I did not ask Joe to answer because I have some theories about some people. I just hope I'm right when I get to see it.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised we haven't reached $1 billion faster.
Well, that's the total. That's counting international sales. So domestically, it was 45 million as of last week. This week, if we want to look at it's really quickly.
No, I mean as a franchise, because this is like crossing $1 billion as a franchise. I'm surprised we didn't hit that sooner, considering the toy sales and the merchandising sales of the real Ghostbusters stuff alone.
I think that's a good question. That's a really good question.
I wonder if this $1 billion threshold is for the films itself.
Yes. Well, the $1 billion threshold for this is just for Frozen Empire. So it's kind of the $45 million domestically, but it's also counting, international as well. Which is why at the time of this, by the time it's posting, which was on the 25th, so that's 4 days ago. So at that time, it was reaching the $1 billion mark. I'm pretty sure it's over the $1 billion mark by now, considering the fact that it's the second weekend of it being out. So I'm pretty sure the movie alone is going to push the franchise box office over. So I think as a whole,
no, it is a whole across all 5 films.
Okay, so it is a whole across 5.
It's a whole across all 5 films, even the Lady Busters of 2016.
Even the one they won't talk about, or the one some people won't talk about.
Even the one that.
Well, even though let's
still have that word delay, don't we?
Yeah, we still got it, but we'll make it work. But no, it's not. Again, we're not knocking the all-women cast of Ghostbusters because the cast was fine. It was the story that was crappy. It really and truly was the story. But again, if you haven't had a chance to see Frozen Empire, definitely should. I can't wait to see it because once we do see it, me and Joe will be able to speak about it in greater depth. But So far, the fact that it's reaching $1 billion in the box office as a total franchise is always a great sign. But speaking of great signs, move right along since we're kind of in the realm of trailers tonight. Marvel has surprised us a lot lately, especially with the fact of course, with the 1943 Rise of Hydra, which we did see in the Unreal demonstration, which that looks like that's going to be great. So now they actually did produce another series, which again, if you love Overwatch, which again, there are some Overwatch fans. I love Overwatch. I just haven't played as much as I used to because, life be life. You got kids. But Marvel has basically created their version of Overwatch called Marvel Rivals. If you haven't seen it, here's a trailer.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one. Pick your hero. Get ready. Go!
Light of Shanti Strange is here. I'm Hulking. Smash it! It's nano time. I hope Friday got that on video. I'm opening a portal. Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Be strong together.
Join together! Drown them! I'm everywhere. Your powers are mine! Tremble before fast!
I got you! Behold, Dark Child!
Hey, mind if I join you? Maximo Pulse!
It's Spider time!
By the eye of Agamotto!
I am ready to put on a show!
Charge! For Wakanda! Spider Sling!
You're the winner! Next team!
And as you can see, guys, that is the trailer for Marvel's Rivals. As you can see, it is a sign up now because it's a closed alpha, which means it begins in May. So if you are interested, definitely go for it. As I do see where panels getting a little bit bigger. What's going on, Safari? So with that being said, fellas, I gotta ask questions because I'm getting Overwatch vibes. But again, I loved Overwatch. No complaints about it. The fact that Marvel's Rivals is coming out with their own version, is it worth it? Is it feels like it's just one big ass Overwatch skin? What do y'all guys think?
I wasn't gonna give a crap. Then they put in Magic, and now Storm's in it, and now Luna Snow's in it. So we got API representation. We got my favorite X Lady, and we got Storm and Wanda. So now I actually have to try it. So shit.
so just by evolution, you got to try it. Just because they got the trifecta.
Yes.
Tafari, what about you?
I'm not the biggest Overwatch fan, but this at least adds something new to the genre. I think the biggest factor will be Overwatch fans because those are the ones who are like when I was over at my grandparents' house, my younger cousins telling me about like updates in hitboxes and flanks and all this other stuff that apparently isn't fun anymore. So however they handle all of that technical aspect, I think will determine the size of the fan base they get. But I notice Marvel is at least trying to throw their hat in every genre because we've got the Spider-Man and Wolverine verse building. Then we've got the Cap and Black Panther game, which I forgot they were working on because that got announced so long ago. Right. And now we have this along with, I think people are still playing Midnight Suns and then Marvel Snap. So they've got the mobile realm covered too.
Yeah. Which it was. Don't get me wrong. Go ahead, Joe. What are you going to say, Joe?
Oh, I was gonna say Midnight Suns. I really don't count in that scenario because that's like an actual strategy RPG, not really a mobile game.
Well, not mobile, but I mean like the fact that Marvel has a strategy RPG on top of everything else.
Okay, no, that I'll give you.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, it looks interesting. I'll even give it a shot. Because again, it's a closed alpha, which means you do get the ground in. So if you want to, definitely check out marvelsrivals.com and definitely sign up for that. But
it
the other
like
trailer,
one of the voice actors were also from Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Say it one more time,
definitely
Joe?
heard Fred. It sounds like some of the voice actors were the ones from Earth's Mightiest Heroes in Spectacular Spider-Man, because I think that was Josh Keaton as Spider-Man. That's definitely Fred Tatasciore as Hulk, because Fred Tatasciore is always the Hulk. The Iron Man is definitely Earth's Mightiest Heroes Iron Man.
Yeah,
that voice actor.
That was like that one of people's favorite iterations, so I wouldn't be surprised if they grabbed him.
Yeah, but that's gonna be
the Loki. I also think was the same Loki.
Was it?
Now I'm wondering. We saw Storm. I'm wondering if we're getting X-Men '97 Storm to be Storm.
Ooh. That's a good. I don't know if that's well. Let me leave that alone because I mean it could be and it could not. But either way, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out come May because I'm definitely signing up for that. I'm definitely signing up for the closed alpha. But well, before we move along though, the Spider Within a Spider-Verse story did drop. It was the short film that basically is supposed to give us a story about Miles and where he stands now. And if you haven't seen it, we're just gonna play the entire 7 minutes of it. I would like to think that Marvel or Sony's not thinking that Sony's not gonna get mad at us. So we will be watching the stream if it does get bumped off. If not, we'll rejoin it. But for all those that haven't seen it, again, this is a Spider Within a Spider-Verse story.
This is why we're not monetized.
Sony, call off the assassins. We're not getting paid for this.
These grades are unacceptable, Miles.
Focus, Miles. Focus.
Miles, you need to apply yourself.
Okay. Yo, I'm home. Sorry I'm late. Dad? You're really not gonna turn around and check right?
What am I always telling you, Miles, huh? You gotta keep
your head on a swivel. I know.
Head on a swivel, yes. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, so we got pizza on the way, ice cream in the freezer. Oh, and Miles, check this out. I rented 3 scary movies we can watch. 3!
Rent? Did you drive all the way to Jersey to do that?
You got jokes now. That's good. I call Couch.
Nah, I would, but I'm just tired. I'll catch you next time.
Are you okay, son?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Copy that.
Yo, Miles, come on. Don't be slamming my door, man.
Yeah, sorry, Dad.
so distracted. He's very
Miles, you're late. Again. Where have you been? No sense of responsibility. Are you okay?
Oh man, I'm bugging.
I'll never step on another spider again, I promise.
Hey.
Hey, Dad. You got a minute?
Yeah, what's up, son?
Can we get some air?
Of course we can, yeah. Grab your jacket.
I just got so much on my mind, you know?
I hear that, yeah. So tell me what's going on.
It's just like homework, girls. Well, one girl.
No matter where we are tonight.
Now, as you guys can see, that was the trailer. That was basically the Spider Within a Spider-Verse story. 7 minutes, and we're still live. So that's gotta say something. A lot actually. So before I give my opinion, guys, round table here. Tafari, I'll start with you. What'd you think?
Hold on, I think we might be paused on YouTube.
Are we paused? No. Oh, wait. Let me go to YouTube. Go ahead. I'll check. I was like, I thought we got past everybody because Instagram's still going. That's going. I'll check YouTube, but keep going.
All right. Yeah, Miles versus his Heartless, and it's just nice to see that let me see. The same thing I said. Oh, yeah, stress affects spider people differently. I mean, Miles is clearly having panic attacks. Toby couldn't swing or wall crawl. Andrew got rageful. Tom lost his spider sense. Only difference between them and him, see what happens when you have a dad in your life?
Yeah,
solved all the problems just like that.
Oh, yeah. Definitely have somebody to talk to. Definitely that.
So if y'all kill Jeff in the next movie, tables will be flipped and popcorn will be thrown.
All I can say is if it happens, because I mean, it was still. I mean, it's a great spot. It really is. Okay, sorry guys, I did see it. YouTube out of everybody was the only people that flagged this. So we should be back up and running on the YouTube side. So again, guys, apologies. I think we're back. I think we should be okay now. But Joe, what about
it? It just took me off the page completely. It took me off the page completely. So let me see if it shows back up.
Yeah, go ahead and try it. But Joe, what about you?
I loved it. They actually did do something similar with Miles right before Gang War. You go back and watch some more former podcasts. Miles was having severe stress and panic, and that was causing his spider sense to just overload. Tafari is correct. Stress affects different spider people differently. Peter Parker tends to lose his powers when either is sick or stressed. Miles goes into like complete overload. We have yet to see what happens with Gwen. I think it has to do with more with her symbiote because we keep forgetting she actually has a symbiote.
Yeah.
But no, this is a wonderful thing. It teaches you that you can always reach out and ask for help, which is something that we need to do.
Of course.
Talk to family, talk to friends, seek professional help. You can even it's going to sound super weird and dumb, but you can actually go to a chat bot. I mean, sometimes it's not that you want to talk to somebody and you want their input. It's you want to just dump it out of you, and a chat bot is one of those ways you can do it.
That's true. Of course, Mr. Final Max, that stress response seemed like a little like the other storyline. Yeah, I can see that too. But of course, so far we are back from the dead because sorry guys. I roll the dice in that all the time because at this point, what do we got to lose? Because it's not like we released it's not like we released GTA secrets. Let's just be honest.
I'm surprised how
I think that got rid of the delay.
Say what?
Said on the bright side, I think they got rid of the delay.
Positive victories. Oh, what are you gonna say, Tafari?
I'll say I'm surprised they got us for that, but so many people got away with doing like whole watches of the Boondocks pilot.
That part, man, they pick and choose. They pick and choose. But
even we got a heads up on that when it was like, do it at your own risk.
Right. I mean, hey, I'll roll the dice every time, but to add what you guys were saying, yes, that was a great 7-minute short. And again, mental health is definitely crucial. Again, there are places, resources, people, lines, even chatbots to talk to. So if you are feeling stressed out, if you are feeling depression, if you're feeling like the world's basically on your shoulders, please seek help. If anything is what I took from this, aside from, of course, Miles going into the next Beyond the Spider-Verse movie, which again, I can't wait to watch that. But overall, it's a great short.
One more thing out of that. Now, if someone does come to you, ask them up front, do you want to just vent to me or do you want my response? They're going to be a little annoyed at first, but they're going to, in the end, be thankful that you respect what they're coming to you for, and that they want to know if it's okay for you to give their perspective back to them. I've done that with friends, and I've had friends do that with me, and I'll just flat out like, is this where they come to me? It's like, do you want my response or you just want to dump? Like, as someone that has done this to people or people have done this with me, I was annoyed, they were annoyed, but ultimately they realized and I realized they were generally asking me just so I can help. You can also dial 988 in the U.S. to crisis line, so by all means, definitely go to that if you need to.
Exactly.
I had to learn how to differentiate that myself as somebody who didn't open up often. I used to get mad because my friends would ask me to tell them things, and then I wouldn't get a response. They were just like, and then one of my friends finally broke it down. She's like, it's not that we don't know what to say. It's just everything you tell us is so unique. I don't have anything for that. Like, I don't have a life story to compare that to. Right. Sometimes you tell me these things and I'm happy you're open. I draw a blank because you tell me things that are like, I've only seen it like a cartoon or a TV show. And I'm like, that made our friendship better because I'm like, okay, so I'm not being ignored. If y'all don't have anything, just tell me that. But from now on, I'll clarify whether I'm just talking or I'm looking for a response.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we just want the clarification.
Yeah.
Which is why we now have a game. Which is why we now have a game in the college group chat called "Did Tafari Take It Too Far?"
Did Tafari take it too far? Oh Lord!
Did Tafari's humor go full Russian?
Say what?
Did Tafari's humor go too German that one time?
It's either humor or it's just like I politely said how I felt about this without using a single slur or swear word. Where were you offended? And I'm just like, or why did this person start crying? And what text should I have stopped? And it's usually like the first one. Well, here's the other 49. So,
oh Lord,
I know I'm in the hole. Just tell me how deep it is. Like, are we talking like 0 at Camp Green Lake, or is it just rock bottom from SpongeBob?
Damn.
But yes, mental health is important. Spider people are stressed out.
I know this is going to sound very terrible, but thank you for the rock bottom because it goes right into the next story we're going to talk about. GameStop. GameStop is unfortunately having cuts so because of sales declines. Which again, GameStop, after they became combined with ThinkGeek and was really starting to sell more video games, they're not having a very good fiscal year. Outside of the fact that they will be cutting jobs again, as they blamed it on an increase of digital downloads, less physical retail is being bought, and there's no reason to go to a store if a consumer can just order a game and download it immediately, which they are saying is the plan for the revenue falls. It can't be for the fact that GameStop has screwed over gamers for almost 20 years. It's the fact that you don't really get a lot of perks anymore because everybody else is doing it, but you're going to blame you're going to blame digital downloads. Don't get me wrong. We have said on this show and on Blurred's Eye View and many other shows, yes, physical media is under attack because Tafari, who is a steelbook hunter, it's what I call him, will tell you off the bat that no matter what movie it is right now or what video game it is right now, collector's editions are disappearing fast. Very, very fast. If it tells you anything, I'll put it to you this way. The steelbook order for Madam Web is sold out.
Meanwhile, Walmart just did a re-release for like a bunch of older Marvel films. Like they have a new version for Black Panther, I think the first Avengers, Endgame, and I think Guardians. I went to a couple Walmarts today just on my like little collector hunt. They were all gone. So Best Buy left a giant gap. Also, GameStop cutting what you can. First off, the point staying on Power Up Rewards as someone who's used it from the beginning is just it gets more confusing every year. So they give you all these reward certificates. Like, okay, you can print it. I had to go back like into the store one time and have them undo my transaction because it's like, oh, you redeemed your points, but you did it for only digital purchases. But what you can purchase digitally is like limited. So you can buy like merchandise and I think maybe use games, but like you can't buy like in-game currency. And then when I used to use my $5 a month on like PSN or Nintendo cards every month, so I get like $10 of gaming points for $5. And then they cut that this year, and that has definitely contributed to more than likely their dip in sales because they're getting rid of the few things that kept be coming in. Last thing I've gone in there and picked up was Helldivers.
But that's the thing though. It's just the fact of when you remove everything that made it worth going, now you have a problem. And the problem is you can't go back. You really can't go back to what actually made you work. And what made you work was that you actually gave a lot of things to the gamer. You had the midnight releases. You had the collector's items that nobody else had, or certain codes that nobody else had. And at the same time, you made it unique. And at the same time, you actually had people that cared about games. You didn't have the corporate shelling, if you will. But no, it's just that, like I said, I've been saying GameStop should have died a long time ago. It keeps getting consolidated and then repackaged and then put back out there. But at the same time, all of these other places, these other mom and pop stores, also that sell and trade video games, are feeling the effects of it. Because again, like they said, digital download seems to be the thing now. And it's kind of a hard wave to stop. It really, truly is. Especially like they said, you can literally go to PlayStation Network, or you can go to Xbox Live, or Steam, or wherever you decide to play your games from, pay your money, and yes, you get a digital copy. But like Tafari and Joe and myself and many others, we like the physical because the problem because when you have physical didn't really have a lot of issues. Yes, I know in this day and age with next gen gaming, there are going to be updates that pop up, but the base game is on a disc, and that's really what you want. not to say that consoles will get evil one day and decide to just nuke your system, which of course we're not saying that'll happen, but again, it's nice to have physical copies because that's what we're used to growing up as gamers. But Joe, any thoughts on that?
I mean, the best I can give you is $1.20.
It's like that RDC. It's like that RDC skit, $32. A brand of an Xbox One, a motherfucking Nintendo Switch. This shit came out this week. $32.
I can't feel bad.
So, in all seriousness, the other issue we've had is the poor trade-in sales will always get it. But for gaming, the other issue we've got is now sometimes you need an always-on connection.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have that, it doesn't matter if you're digital or physical. Your game's just not going to play if you don't have net.
Yeah, but that goes right to live service crap too.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. It's also just because like people are just keeping the games they know are never going to get reprinted. So your secondhand market's getting scarcer and scarcer.
Yeah.
And basically all you can do and go into a GameStop these days is find used copy of sports games or used copies of Need for Speed or anything that's a continuous legacy saga. It's not like I can walk into my GameStop now and go get the PlayStation 4 version of Transformers Devastation. I can get every copy of FIFA back to 98. But God help me if I'm looking for something specific.
Yeah, that always on connects for single player games are a nightmare. That needs to go exactly because it doesn't help. That's why I was talking about it goes into live service. Live service has never been a great idea for games. It is there's yet, and I will swear on this, there has yet to be a live service game that has been successful. And yet they still keep trying. They really truly do. But I mean,
GG Suicide Squad, nice try.
Yeah. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, prime example. But I mean, the fact that it's already
conversely,
go ahead.
But conversely, we have Helldivers 2, which is probably one of the most currently successful live service games ever.
But what's the big difference between Helldivers 2 and Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League?
One of it is fighting for democracy. One of them is fighting Brainiac.
True. Also dedicated service, because you can tell behind Helldivers 2, if the group that's behind Helldivers 2 cares about that game, all their resources are developed to that game. They're trying to their biggest problem, and this is not even a problem. Before I get to the next bit of news, this really isn't a problem. If your biggest problem on video games is player capacity, that's your biggest problem, you're fine. If you have everybody trying to play your game, that is the least of your problems. But what are you gonna say, Joe?
That game gaslights its player base so much. It is hilarious. Like, a handful of people will get mechs, and then we take the 4K resolution photos, and then the CEO of the company goes like, well, this is clearly fake. And then we start seeing flying bugs in the game, and goes like, no, that's purely propaganda. You're liars.
But
it's
the fact that he's trolling about it.
The Helldiver people are beta testing on certain people. We catch it. And they're doing it on purpose, but they're continuously gaslighting us as part of how to keep people engaged.
But it's beautiful how they do
it. Even with like the requisition stuff, like the in-game messages, the day I got the game, the first thing I see is like, due to mission failure, what is it called? Request forms for procreation will be denied amongst all. I was like, the day I
we didn't get the hug mode for like 2 weeks because we lost the planet.
Yeah,
I'll be like, so the day I get recruited, no one's allowed to get laid. This is the democracy I'm fighting for.
Or democracy, but
if you look at I just looked it up. If you look at what Helldivers 1 looked like compared to what we have right now, that's what happens when you have a game. One, shout out to the dedicated fan base that kept that alive to push a second game. Also, you make a game fun and affordable. The fact that it's only $40 to pick up.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go OD and pay and support democracy, there's in-game purchases, but you're not punished for not making them. You just get good.
But like you said, that's the beauty part about it. You made it cost-effective, you made it attractive, and like Mr. Final Max said, we know it Starship Troopers, but let's be honest. We always wanted a game like Starship Troopers. We really, truly did.
The thing is the campaign we have right now, we've moved away from the bugs. Now we're fighting Terminators.
Dude, I dropped it. I was like, okay, more bugs. I'm like, where the fuck did the T-1000s come from? And the fact that if you're in there solo, if there's like a group of them, they split up. So now I've got one charging me. He blocks my bullets with his blade. I don't see the other guy trying to flank me with shots. And thank God I have a watchdog now because, like, I'm not.
One side of the galaxy is bugs. One side of the galaxy is Terminators. I'm waiting for the bottom one to either be a Predator or Xenomorph, or a not quite Predator or not quite Xenomorph, or for God's sakes, not quite Klingons next.
All I'm gonna sit there and say is, if a deal gets made with a certain movie company, I won't be surprised. That's all I'm gonna say. If a certain deal gets made,
they have the potential for it. If they do a Terminator or an Aliens or a Predator collab, the game would crash upon booting up.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be.
Are you
fun.
kidding me? No. I'm still waiting for Casper Van Dien to show up in this game.
That's what I'm saying. Wait, I mean, the opportunity is right there.
Where is Rico?
Johnny Rico. Where's Johnny Rico in this?
Even the people who are like in character when they play is hilarious. Like I watched a guy before I bought the game. I saw one guy who was like, between the bugs and the damn like robots and other stuff, what if we're the problem? Like we're outnumbered and in the center of this galaxy. What if everyone is defending themselves from us? Why did the entire lobby go, well, that sounds like treason, and they all shot the guy?
Dang. You know, it does sound like treason, though. I mean, that does sound like double agent talk. I'm not gonna lie about that. It kind of does. He would be immediately. You can't help but say he'd be immediately suspect. Let's gotta be honest.
Like they didn't kick him out. They're just like shoot on sight for the rest of the match.
Just damn. But to move along though, guys. Yeah, but Helldivers is great because of what they've done with it, which is why I want them to continue that. I really do. Like for those behind Helldivers 2, Casper Van Dien's open. That's all I'm saying. Give us Johnny Rico. But other trailers to get to, guys. Can we say that a certain actor in Hollywood may actually be making his comeback? What I'm talking about is the Bad Boys Ride or Die trailer. I do have to give a warning about this. There is a little bit of gore, Mortal Kombat gore, but hey, we have to tell about it in case somebody gets triggered. Anyway, here's a trailer for Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Bad Boys trailer is coming out right now. Right now. Yeah, right now. Right now. Check it out. It's hot.
Come on, Mike, slow down.
We are late.
My stomach, Mike. I need a ginger ale.
Get a ginger ale and nothing else.
Are those dogs fresh?
Put them in yesterday. Give me one. Put some relish
On that motherfucker.
Open the register.
Stay right there.
Is that Skittles on the counter, Marcus?
This ain't mine, Mike.
Yes, it is.
Shut the fuck up.
Marcus, get in the car.
He has a gun to my head.
Want to deal with him? You want to deal with me?
Sorry, sir, but I gotta go. Call 911.
Aren't you the police?
Hey, Reggie, you eat my snacks?
No, sir.
You ate my snacks, didn't you? You need to get a job.
I'm a U.S. Marine, sir.
Well, then you need to deploy.
Dad, look.
We now have evidence that the late Captain Conrad Howard of Miami PD was working directly with drug cartels for years.
Captain Howard is being framed.
Let's go.
What the hell?
He's texting us from the other side.
No, he's not, Marcus.
If he's seeing this, I'm probably dead.
Fuck! Fuckers! Fuck them all! I don't know how high up this shit goes, but I don't trust anybody. You're my bad boys. Now clear my name.
should be careful. They're being set up, detectives.
We got 2 suspects, Lowry and Burnett. They're armed and dangerous.
In 5, 4, 3.
No! Windshield wiper fluid! It's flammable!
I ain't no damn scientist. Y'all are some terrible fucking fugitives.
I can feel like 80 rats in my memories. Me and Drizzy back to back is getting scary. Put some things all on your head like there's some terry.
I need nasty mice. Bad boy. I got this. What you don't do?
Are y'all still in our clothes?
Just because we black, we still in your shit?
What?
Look at your shirt.
Why don't you sing us a little Reba song?
Reba.
Sing your favorite.
I'm a woman.
So I'm a strong black woman.
Strong. Yeah, because she's not black.
Yes.
What you gonna do? What you gonna...
That ain't no Reba song.
It's from her mixtape.
All right, guys, and that was the trailer for Bad Boys Ride or Die. As you can see, we're trusting Will Smith enough to make a comeback. We're trusting him enough. I mean, I guess he's been in the dark long enough, and of course, Martin Lawrence are being reprising their roles. The one thing I'll sit there and say, Reggie has always got job security in the Bad Boys franchise, because if you think about it, ever since the movie before this one, he's been in everything. If that ain't job security, I don't know what is. But it definitely does look great. And at the same time, the one thing I will say about this before I pass it to you guys about Bad Boys, at least they keep the story fresh. It's not old. It's always something different. Now, I'm not saying it's not like Fast and the Furious. Don't get me wrong. Fast 10 was enjoyable. Shout out to Jason Momoa for that, because he made it enjoyable. But it never got stale, is what I'm getting at. But what do you guys think of the trailer? Is it worth watching, or are we waiting for it to come to let's see. Are we waiting for it to come to Max, or are we gonna watch it in theaters?
You go ahead, Joe.
I haven't seen the last 2. The last one I saw was Bad Boys 2.
Okay.
I mean, Bad Boys has always been a solid franchise in my book. I would probably go if I have friends that want to, I would go see that in theaters. Otherwise, catch it on Max. I'll probably stream it a few times, but I hope they get some kind of like cool collab, because I know all the theaters lately they're trying to get people back in with the Dune popcorn buckets and all that weird shit. But like,
I would go
to the theater for a Bad Boys 4 poster.
No, I thought I forgot about the Dune popcorn box. I thought it came back.
Even the actors didn't know. They were like, "What the hell is this?"
Whoever designed that needs to be shot. But Lizzie Collins Live, thank you for watching. I would definitely watch it. Okay, cool. But at the same time, of course, Geek by Heart. Hey, Lainey, we'll watch it in theaters. Also, check out Geek by Heart, because Lainey and her husband did do a review of this as well, and definitely check them out on YouTube. But yeah, it just looks like it's going to be a good movie. I can't knock it. But yes, I mean that bucket, Kira. I mean that bucket. That, you know what?
If you search it on a dark place on Reddit, you'll find some horrible, unforgettable things.
Yeah, it's there's just some things you just can't unsee. There's just that I just can't unsee that. But anyway, but it looks like we're all in agreement on that one. Thank you, Miss Final Max. The Ghostbusters trap bucket was great. I won't get to it.
I'll show you how good it is. I have one.
I heard those things flew out like on opening weekend. Like I heard they're gone.
Oh, I believe it. You mean the $40 Ghostbuster trapdoor bucket? Yes, I will buy it.
That for the Ghostbusters, I understand.
Yeah.
Cinemark doesn't get a lot. They do get some cool exclusive posters, like the Sonic and Knuckles one for the last movie. I grabbed the extra and I got it framed on my wall that night. That's worth
I would
the
pay
money.
$40 for that. I mean, for a popcorn bucket, I would pay for that.
So this is the AMC one. All the knobs work. You don't need out of the bucket. It has an cone you put in to make it look like the trap vortex.
Like it's opening? Yeah.
It has LEDs in it. Sorry, this is going to be bright.
Go for it.
Solar player.
That ain't bad. That's not bad.
Everything's
well,
weathered.
Cool. See, that's cool, but for $40, that's pretty good.
Yes, $40 and not free. Totally not free.
Wait, it lights up. Yeah, it lights
up.
See,
for that and not just a giant jumbo bucket I don't have room in my cabinet for like $35, that's I think a decent walkaway. That or I got like exclusive TMNT and Sonic posters from when I went to go see movies. Other than that, like I know the Beyonce fans were eating when they went to go see her film. They had like fans and pamphlets and
right. But no, for $40, I would definitely get that. But
I hope Bad Boys gets something exclusive poster, card. So I'm curious to see the power of Tyler Perry Studios as well for an action film.
That would be interesting because then they filmed it on
a
lot. So that's how it. So yeah.
Okay, so that's that is cool.
Yeah, and plus unless you got the kind of the shadow lasering on the side. Looks like laser engraving on the side.
Yeah, I'm gonna sand it off to where it looks like it's actual vortex, not something with Ghostbusters symbols on the side. But no, for something for $40, this is fantastic.
Yeah, I would pay $40 for that. It looks really good. I just hope it's in theaters by the time I get to go. If not, I just might need to be, going on eBay. But from Ghostbusters, guys, I got to ask you this, and I know this is going to be the weirdest question in the world, but it goes into the next story before we get into the next trailer. Could you imagine Black Widow in a Jurassic Park movie?
Yes.
Is that happening?
Actually, they're in talks. Scarlett Johansson is in talks to star in the next Jurassic World movie. It is not a done deal as of yet. It is in talks that she actually will be in the next movie. If they make a deal, by the way. The next film is supposed to be directed by Gareth Edwards and written by David Cope, who did the original Jurassic Park. But as of right now, it's still in talks. So, could you really see her? I mean, because don't get me wrong about Scarlett Johansson. It's going to take me a while to not see her as Black Widow. I mean, she owned the role for many years. And the fact that she's now joining another action franchise in Jurassic World, because I don't know why we need to continue that. I thought Dominion would have probably been the end of it. But apparently, we need to move forward with another movie. So, start with you, Joe. Could she actually be the next lead role in Jurassic World?
Find out where they were getting two redheads to be the role. Because I guess this means she's replacing Bryce Dallas Howard as the next lead female.
I tried to look it up. There was no information on whether or not that she's going to be in the next movie, or if Johansson is being brought in to replace her.
Now, also to answer your comic question, can you see Black Widow in this? Yes, she's probably been to the Savage Land numerous times. I wouldn't doubt she fought in Sauron before. But Scarlett Johansson, no, she could do it. I mean, she's a very pliable actor. She's a good actor. She's very pliable. I mean, I don't see any problem with it. We can continuously believe, and this is not a knock on anybody. We can continuously believe that Jeff Goldblum turns in a continual solid performance in a movie of dinosaurs, then we're fine with Scarlett Johansson.
Also, Delaney, Dominion wasn't a proper finale. Okay, I give you that. Comcast wants more money. Damn. And Akira did bring up a good point. What if she's Bryce's sister? So that's also
we're just shifting because now we have the new.
But no, it's interesting because with her being the lead, and we have seen in Hollywood where certain individuals don't believe that action female leads actually generate money. We've heard that same song and dance over and over again. I would like to think that if Scarlett Johansson does decide to take this role, that she takes it and runs with it. I'm just curious about where the story is now. Because spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Dominion, they're trying to coexist. And the last time humans and dinosaurs tried to coexist in the movie, it didn't end well for both sides. But Safari, what do you think?
I mean, I didn't grow up too much on the OG Jurassic films, so I can't really put a dog in this fight. I like the last couple films they've done. That was like my first full theater run with this franchise. So if they're not doing a soft reboot and we're just going to continue and pick up with a new batch of people, kind of like Transformers did at one point.
Okay. Depending on what I need to see what the story is looking like in the trailer. ScarJo will do whatever you needed to do. I know that much, but I'm gonna need some more details. Fair enough, and I guess we'll follow that story as it comes along. Because again, I wouldn't be against it. I just need Blue to have a John Wick moment. I need Blue because I like Blue, but Blue didn't really go off the way I wanted her to go off. But again, I digress. I just want something different in the different movie. But speaking of things different, oh yes, OG Jurassic Park still holds up. Don't get me wrong, because let's be honest, it's the Velociraptors are undefeated. But that being said, guys, we are going to move on to Max because we did get another trailer for the Penguin. If you don't know about the Penguin, this is the Penguin following the Matt Reeves Batman movie, where again Colin Farrell, who in makeup nobody recognizes, gives us a nice trailer what to expect.
When I was a kid, there was a gangster, real old school type, Rex Calabrese. He was a big deal. He helped people. He saw you on the street, he'd call out to you. When I'm 14 or something, he has a heart attack and dies. Still holding a cigar. In my neighborhood, they throw a parade in his honor. A freaking parade. I mean, it wasn't fancy, but it was a gesture. A show of love for what he meant. Can you imagine to be remembered like that?
All I can say is, wow. That was a teaser trailer, guys, for the Penguin. That will be on Max subscription service later this fall. I like the direction this is going. I really, really like the direction that the Penguin is going. Colin Farrell nails it. I can't wait to see what they do with this story because, again, this is the continuation of the Matt Reeves universe for Batman. I got no other words. What about you guys? Oh, definitely. Definitely we'll get Leslie on the show. But
Joe, you got thoughts?
Why does he look like an evil John Lovitz?
Well, I mean, if John Lovitz was evil and had murderous vibes, I go with that. Dang, you'll have that in my head for the rest of the night.
And I just sit there and I look at him. It's like the makeup just makes you look like a really angry, evil John Lovitz.
Well, at the same time, if you think about the other iterations of the Penguin, I mean, did we really want to go more evil and more gangster or more grotesque? Because I think they wanted to go more. I think they really want to take the Sopranos
part of it.
No,
they're going to go more gangster because that's what he's like in the book. But it's just one of those. Like, I don't know. I just see it. I think it's like one particular shot where the shadow hits him just right. It's like this is just John Lovitz mad. They turn Colin Farrell into John Lovitz. See, even Laney sees I'm right. It's not my fault.
Look what you started. Now look what you started. Now I can imagine the thing being more confident for a time.
No, just imagine this is Jade Sherman if he's finally lost it.
Oh, good Lord.
I mean,
I mean, there's so many definitive iterations. I mean, you had the Meredith Burgess, you had the Danny DeVito. They're all great. I'm sure this will be fantastic. Clearly, we're leaning to the crime angle. I've ruined everybody. Buy my book. Buy my book.
That is that my work is done scenario. It's like I have sat there and changed everybody's opinion. My work is done. Oh God. Just smile and nod, Safari. Just
not that I get some of these references. I'm not Captain America.
Oh,
HBO has other crime or mafia shows up their sleeve. I mean, I don't know if there's any surviving Soprano members left, but it would be a good time to throw some cameos in there. But I do kind of like the whole crime greatest detective era that this Bat universe focuses on.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
There.
I've been saying since I saw the trailer and finally saw the movie, this Batman is basically like the Telltale game, where it's a lot more organized crime, a lot more detective work, and hopefully we'll do a good job of at least tying in whatever we're getting with the second movie. And also, I'm curious to see a story where we root for Penguin. Like, what is that? Are we in a crime war? How does that work?
Well, that's the thing because no, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
I akin this in the Batman movie to the very early first season of Batman the Animated Series, where he was dealing more with the crime bosses. But this is also technically a take on Batman Year 2, where he is predominantly dealing with organized crime. He doesn't have a large drugs gallery at that point where it's costume super criminals. He is like the shadow of the mob, keeping them in line.
That is true.
So I definitely see that. My only issue with the next movie is, again, they ended that first movie as No Man's Land. I don't know why they keep putting Gotham into No Man's Land status when they never intend to follow up on it.
But that's what I think is different. I like the fact that they left it open-ended and that they're actually allowing the rogues to step in their own. I like that. I do like that because as Batman is basically figuring himself out, because let's be honest, I love Matt Reeves' the Batman. It showed Batman was human, that he made multiple mistakes. At the same time, he still got it done. But at the same time, you're also showing the rogues becoming one of their own. And the fact that the Penguin kind of showed himself to be like, I'm not going to just be anybody. I'm going to be somebody. And he kind of has that old school mafia code to it, which again, I loved. Well, let's say I ain't heard no one say root for the Penguin until today, years old. We are kind of all rooting for the Penguin in this one. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of giving the bad guy the hero role in this. I mean, it like Safari said, it is kind of like a Soprano-esque show, but we are seeing the rise of the Penguin in Gotham City. So I'm not against it. I do like the fact that it's open-ended, and at the same time, it should include. I like to still see characters from the movie still make cameos. Of course, we're not going to see. Let's also be honest. We're not going to see Robert Pattinson as Batman in this show. That's just.
You don't think so? I thought they were just good enough to nothing got leaked from this. So I'm like, maybe they kept a tight enough lid on it. But like,
if it is, I'll be surprised.
I'll say it'll be either the first episode or the last episode.
I can see him getting a Daredevil and Echo size cameo, whether it be to, like he said, to set up the story or just end it and be like if we pick up after Gotham is flooded and now the city's in recovery and now you basically have Penguin and guys trying to either get or reclaim territory thanks to Riddler. But for now, maybe, but we still need to see like where this takes place or what span this covers.
Because as far as we know, in the current Matt Reeves universe, you have Riddler, You have Joker, because let's be honest, we saw him in the extras, and at the same time you have the Penguin. I mean, technically, there may be a Two-Face, there may be a Poison Ivy, there may be a Victor Zsasz, there may be a Mad Hatter, there may be a Professor Pig. We don't know as of yet. But like I said, if Patterson's Batman does show, or if he shows like in those cutscenes where you see him fighting, but you don't really see him, that whole in the shadows type thing, you can make that work for the show. I'm not against that. But I just find it very hard to believe we might get a cameo from him. And like Joe said, if we do, it's gonna be near the end. It's gonna be near the end. That's the only way I look at it. But that's just me. But before we do get to our Invincible and X-Men 97 episodes reviews, guys, one last bit of video game information I do have, because Destiny 2 has came out with news about their Into the Light. They are basically introducing a mode called Onslaught. Onslaught is basically the horde mode or zombie mode that we're used to if you play Call of Duty, or horde mode if you play Gears of War. Similar to those two things, you're basically facing onslaughts of Taken, Vex, Scorn, depending on who the monster of the week is. There are other changes coming to Destiny 2, because again, we're about to enter the final shape, which is basically the end chapter of the first part of Destiny 2. So again, they are setting up to, I hope, to make a lot of changes. Now, again, for me, I am a little behind. I still haven't finished the last campaign before this one, although Into the Light will be coming this April. So again, if you are interested, guys, definitely do check it out. Still plenty of time to get into Destiny 2. Especially since the Guardian games have just passed, because the Hunters won. Yay, the Hunters won. You lucky sons of... Anyway, the Hunters won. Congratulations to the Hunters winning the Guardian games, because, we good sportsmanship and all that, although y'all kind of freaking cheated. But anyway, Destiny 2 Into Light definitely coming out for that. So, Tafari, have you kept up with Destiny 2 or tried to keep up with Destiny 2?
My brother plays, not me. He keeps me up to speed on what little campaigns they have going on and whatever he's currently getting involved in. So I know elementary levels of education about this.
Gotcha. Well, either way, it is definitely worth playing. I would say it is worth playing if you ever get a chance to really sit down and really tear into it, but I'd highly recommend that you do. But before we get to our comic book reviews, guys, we do got some episode reviews, starting with Invincible, because Safari, have you seen the latest episode?
Hey, Dede, that crazy bitch out there again.
Oh, I meant to say, also, spoiler alert, we are talking about the episodes in its completion. So if you have not seen the most recent episode of Invincible, you might want to mute us for a few seconds. If you have seen it, let us know, because we want your opinions on it. But Tafari, I'll let you go first. What about the most recent episode outside of that? Because I'm still stuck on the last 10 minutes.
I made the joke like a week ago with the fight from God of War, where it's like, if you work for Cecil, you just don't clock out. It's like the fight with Thor. No, I say when we're done. And then you feel bad for I'm blanking on his name. You feel bad for Donald, and it goes from immediately tragic to hilarious, because Donald has an entire Venture Bros montage of every time he's been killed. And I'm like, it's literally the Venture Bros twins, just montage after montage. And you thought maybe it was a few cybernetics. No, he's done this 39 times at least, to the point where he didn't even know he was fully robot, more than he thought. And then I was curious if they were going to actually break up Mark and Amber, and I feel like they still have left it open-ended. But I feel like the Anissa thing is going to, it may happen, but I think it's going to go down in a different way, possibly.
Yeah. I would sit there and say this, and this is just me, that outside the fact of they still play the will they or won't they as far as breaking them up, I need Mark to go full power. Because what kills me is Mark is basically playing Spider-Man, because you had that much trouble with one, let's call it an overgrown sea lobster. And yet, one Virtuite literally just decides, okay, in one shot. At the same time, beats you to the point to where it's like, why won't you accept it? To where you basically made them rage quit and leave. That's the part that kills me. She kept on saying the entire time, you will, submit and this is all over. No. Okay, I'm gonna throw you at high speed into the ground. Submit. No. I was like, did we just pull a Doctor Strange just now and basically made Dormammu rage quit and just say, well, hell, the next person that's gonna come next is gonna make you do it. So either you're gonna do it with me or you're gonna die, and then everybody on Earth is gonna die. It's up to you. But outside of him and Rex, because this is how I know they will never kill off Rex. Because for you to take a bullet to the head and still be okay, and then realize the person you're fighting wasn't the same type of person that caused your death, was the greatest confidence booster, that's saying a lot.
Is that what that was about? The giant, him having to fight the lizard guy? Okay.
Yeah. Because he kept on saying the entire time, well, at least you're not a virtual mind. I could take you. It's like the whole time he's like, when he heard the guy say his name, it's like Taser Face from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like all Rocket did was basically make fun of the guy. And it's in a reverse way, it's what Rex did. Rex is like, I'm supposed to be afraid of you? So that was his confidence booster. But at the same time, and then what's his face came back and he realized he can go toe to toe with a Virtuite. That was funny when he realized like your punches don't do shit.
That's why I feel like things might change. Because like you have an ace in the hole now who basically got jumped into being Viltrumite proof. He got the DBZ Zenkai boost basically, and clearly is going to do something to try to break Nolan out or get some kind of information. Yeah. But then I feel like there's some areas where they like purposely downplay Mark's intelligence because it had moved the plot along too far.
Yeah.
It's like, read my books. And it's like, why are you not giving everyone this information? Why are we just giving this to Alan? Like, I get it. Cecil
can't be trusted because he's still holding on to a secret.
Is he? Like, at this point, I really have no quarrel with Cecil as far as, like, I get it. He wants the protection of the planet, but even this week with Donald, I kind of like him more for being straight up and be like, hey, I'm not an asshole. You told me to do this.
Yeah.
But retry.
But the last part, remember the door they were in front of where he sat there and he was about to say something and then they got interrupted? Like, there's a reason why I did it this way, and they never said what's behind that door. That's what makes me think there's another secret. He's holding on to something. Because he kept on telling Mark to hang back. Like, hang back, we'll regroup, we'll take them when they get here. I'm like, what is he not saying? Because that sounds like you're harboring something to me. But I mean, don't get me wrong, good episode. It was a great episode altogether, but I need them to get to the point about the books. Like, what is so important in these books that Mark needs to know? But I say it was a good episode so far. But what was your endpoint on that?
Joe, you got anything?
I'm not watching. I haven't watched since the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Damn.
He checked out. He checked out of Invincible.
Oh, but yeah, I feel like there's points where it's like, oh, read the books, and it's like, cool.
I'm not one.
No, go ahead.
I'm not one for all the hyperlore, so I checked out after season 1.
That's fair. I do like that they didn't kill off Homegirl, the shrinking chick.
Yeah.
Apparently nobody was supposed to make it out of that fight except Rex, and he was supposed to be like, I don't think he was supposed to get out of bed. He was supposed to be like in bed until whatever his next thing is. But the fact that he's up next up, first of all, why did I know he was going to get a robot arm with a laser in it? Same thing with the other chick. Because I was like, how did she survive? And I was like, okay, she did break all of her bones to get out of that. But they didn't even, in the comics, they don't even do the morphing. She just, I think it's a guy in the comic. He just gets swallowed whole and doesn't even try to.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that fight because, that was one of those moments where, like, cool, that was traumatic. I'm never watching that again. That's going on the list with Peter Parker in the first Spider-Verse movie. I can't watch dude get his cave chest in more than once. But then it also questions everything you know about superhero tropes because it's like, if any other writer did that, it would work. But they're just like, psych, we're going to show you how it fails and put you in despair. And then the fact that the guy did all that, and then the Lizard King had the nerve to say please after like Rex getting his arm bit off and then punching him with his stub of an arm left.
That is very much true. But I'm glad that you sat there and said about things that pass by censors because we're going to just basically go into X-Men 97 because again, and I stressed this before we go into this. Again, we are talking about episode 3 of X-Men 97. If you have not seen episode 3 of X-Men 97 and don't want to be spoiled, might want to mute us for the next couple of minutes.
I'm sorry, Bad Batch. You exist too. It's just other shit is out on the same day now.
Oh, yeah, I got to catch up on Bad Batch. But I'm going to start with Joe on this because Joe was the first person to watch this, and he
it was a really good
sat there
episode for Bad Batch.
before I could. Say what?
Bad Batch was actually really good this week too.
It was. I just got to it last.
Yeah, I have to catch up on it. But Joe, you saw X-Men 97 episode 3 first, sir. Can you go ahead and give the reason why we sat there and said, "Holy crap, how this passed the censors"?
Did we really just do all of Inferno in a single episode? Yes. Yes, we did. Did I just watch several people get bisected on a Disney cartoon and then put themselves back together? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say probably one of the couple of the most racy jokes I've seen on X-Men in a while? Morph was unnecessarily mean to Remy. Just like petty mean to Remy.
Yeah.
Also, apparently Morph has a thing for short, grumpy men.
Mm-hmm. As he loves to, his favorite transformation.
And the literal mention of hell, which that even got me by surprise.
Yeah. Can we honestly say that at this point that Disney is deciding to say, you know what, you guys can run with it? Because let's be honest, it's a script. Because when Joe said it, I was like, okay. Because I watched it, I'm like, holy crap, we got away with this. I mean, but we also got to think about it. It's Disney Plus. It's a subscription service, so it's not like public access television where you're beholden to some rules. At the same time, it's not like, this isn't the X-Men. I mean, it is the X-Men we grew up with, but at the same time, they are allowing us to really enjoy it per se. So for me, I love the fact that we decided just to go ahead and go straight into the Goblin Queen, aka Madeline Pryor. The fact that we did see Inferno, the fact that, they didn't hold back. I love the fact how Jean just snapped back to reality after going through Logan's mind and immediately finds the Goblin Queen and just pretty much shuts her down. And they did her story, which I'm not mad about how they did her story. And the fact that they did involve Sinister, and the fact that, we are seeing a bit from the sins of Sinister a little bit, but I'm not mad about that. I'm liking the fact that they are kind of accelerating the story in some ways with X-Men 97. But Safari, what did you think?
Yeah, I knew nothing of these stories, and nobody in the group chat would tell me anything on purpose. So this was my first time experiencing any of this, and it's just like everyone is just like, Scott, you had the better clone. And I'm like, does nobody feel bad that he was banging and impregnating the wrong person for all this time? Are we all just in love with the toxic twin immediately?
It's so much worse in the comic.
It's so much worse.
It is so much worse in the comic.
I feel like they really played into Sinister because, what is it? By season 4 or 5 of X-Men, when Jubilee takes a shot at him, it's like, you think you can hurt me? I'm like, literally everyone who's attempted to has, so I get the attempt. But in this one, it's just like, I thought they would maybe do some off-camera shadows, electricity. No, we're just full-on slam dunking the baby into the Nickelodeon slime and then pulling the plug. I'm like, oh, we're going full send. It's nothing. The kid's not hurt or crying, surprisingly, but the fact that we're going through this full-on experiment.
It's graphic light.
Yeah, with graphic light with the kid. Mm-hmm. And then when we got to the 1,000 cuts of death with Magneto.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting. That part, which I was
that animation,
I was saying.
That animation between those
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying, though. It's just the whole idea of that's just the whole idea of the fact of what they're taking with this. And at the same time, I would say that's fair. The old X-Men anime series, my first introduction. Phoenix Saga is still the best adaptation of that story. I agree. But yeah, it's the fact that if episode 3 is the example of what we're going to be seeing moving forward, I am completely okay with that. I really and truly am. Because
God, I just realized we know what these episodes are. So if this is like fully, we're doing Inferno in a single episode. Which, by the way, props for Morph being Ileana, just so we can have Magic and Darkchild make an appearance because they were key to Inferno. But if we were able to get away with this much graphically, remember the final 3 episodes were Operation Zero Tolerance.
That's gonna be interesting.
How many do we have this season?
Episodes?
Yeah.
Good question. I don't really know. Welcome back, Gary. I want to say they gave us, I want to say 12, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
So did Morph just decide, thanks to Sinister, to go into this, or are we retconning and he's always been the blank face?
Well, Morph is the face he had beforehand, which he showed for like a split second.
I saw we paid homage to the post Sinister face with the I work a 9 to 5 with no sleep eyes, and
yeah. So what you said, Joe?
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think he gave himself the blank face to give himself a fresh start.
Okay. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that we're just kind of starting there for everybody. We're not doing a backstory episode for everyone.
Yeah.
Morph is just blank. Bishop is just hanging out for some reason. But
they kind of explained Bishop. Bishop's was the fact that his device was damaged and Beast was fixing it. So they did kind of explain the fact that why he can't jump back. Although he did try to. Although now they're saying that he is going to jump back with Nathan to basically get him fixed. So that's going to be interesting. But
I'm curious. If he goes to a future where they make his device, he can't just come right back like 10 seconds later.
You would think.
That's what I was waiting on, was like portal away, portal right back. Hey, your kid's fixed it. Maybe like 6 months older. Okay, bye.
That would be it. Now, I would think so, but I'm kind of curious to see what the next episode is going to be. What you say,
the
Joe?
Other thing you got to realize is Bishop we got to realize that even Bishop says in the episodes, like the future and the past are always being changing and rewritten and constantly flowing. So Bishop going forward may not be Bishop's what Bishop came from.
Right.
It may be something completely different.
That is also true.
The other thing, the other reason why I was telling you to Perry Williams.
I know. Go ahead.
Again.
No, go ahead.
So I was telling DeFari, the reason why Scott is so much worse in the comics is that Madeline Pryor was established as her own character in the books. And Scott does marry Madeline. Flat out actually has a wedding with Madeline. Has Nate. And then the moment he hears Jean is back, he abandons both of them. To get back with Jean.
Yeah, that is true. Time manipulation is a mess. That is true.
No, I need to do like 1 or 2 more rewatches just to clarify. Because first off, kudos to whoever handled fight choreography. That shit was great. But also, do we know when they got swapped, or are we keeping that vague on purpose?
Vague on purpose.
Let's go vague.
They don't even know who's the Phoenix at this point.
That's where I got confused, because I'm like, when she got to the Phoenix, I'm like, which one of you was actually the damn bird at this point? Because
that's true. But I mean, overall, definitely great episode.
It could be
again.
As early
I'm sorry, go jump.
I said it could have been as early as season 1. We have no idea.
That is true. But let us know in the comments, guys, what you think of the episode 3 of X-Men, of course, with Invincible. We still want to know what you guys, especially if you've seen it, But that's really the news that we have. Before we do get to our comic book pulls, we always want to give and shout out love to Rick's Comic City. Of course, if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check them out. Rick's Comic City, Nashville's #1 place to go to for comic books, for mangas, for collectibles, for everything geeky and nerdy for the last 6 years. Definitely check them out. You can also go to their website, rickscomiccity.com, to where you can do orders of comic books, hardcovers, gift cards, things of that nature. Whatever they have as far as the geek world has it, they definitely have it there. You should definitely check that out. Also, if you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, I cannot stress this enough. Support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. I get it. Amazon is easy. Barnes & Noble is easy. The place that has Starbucks, I get it. It's all easy. But there is something about going to a spot to where it's an experience to go to a comic book store, to pick up your latest comics or mangas or collectibles or Funkos or just movie posters and things that in general. That is just an experience you just don't get anywhere else. At the same time, they need your support. They need your patronage. Also, at the same time, guys, libraries carry the most latest comic books and animes and mangas as well. Kids, I'm going to explain to you very quickly. There is things out there that are trying to keep you from reading books. So as me and Joe usually say on the Give It podcast, guys, please read the banned books. We cannot stress enough about these books, not just comic books, guys, but the fiction, the nonfiction, the history, and all those other books out there. I cannot stress this enough. Read the banned books, learn what they don't want you to know, and you'll be better off for it. So, guys, like I said, support your local library, support your local comic books. You're going to miss them when they're gone. What did Kira say before we get to this? They let Scott's ass off easy. Now that I'm worried they're going to make Storm look like the jerk when she sweeps the leg. Damn. What do you say, Joe? I won't abandon my son. Also, Scott, I won't be a part of this.
That was me. He was so within like the span of 2 minutes. I won't abandon him. We're gonna send him to the future. Okay, bye. I'm out here. And they just leave him on this awkward, possibly first date with the real Gene, who is
man.
Bird being born is imprinting on the first person she sees when she wakes up, and Logan's trying to make his move now. And
that one, I laughed so hard at that because he's like, I will not do what mine did with Corsair. I will not abandon my son. We got to send to the future. I want no part of this. Walks right out of the room.
And then somebody was on Twitter today. It was like L of the episode goes to Beast, because how are you a doctor with the worst fucking bedside manner of all time? Like, didn't you take a Hippocratic oath? Isn't
right?
Like, Mofo screamed in front of everyone, "That's not Gene." You couldn't like telepathically say something. You couldn't pull Scott to the side. No, you had to shout for the whole house to hear and make it awkward.
That was pretty much funny. But oh god, I'm not to unthink that. But anyway, I see Joe, you got the comments lined up, sir. So whenever you're ready. And we might be a delay.
I think we're okay.
Nope.
Maybe.
Yep. Keep going.
We got the finale of Amazon's Attack. This is written by Josie Campbell with art by Vasco Georgiev and colors by Alice Goomers. We find out who the big bad is in the Amazon's Attack thing. Turns out it's one of the first Amazons.
Mm-hmm. Asylum,
for whatever reason, turns into a Ghost Rider. Turns into Asylum, who's just basically a Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything's fine. Magically, everything is fine. Not bad book. Definitely put it in if you plan on keeping up with Wonder Woman and everything. I enjoyed it. Alan Scott Green Lantern, written by Timothy Sheridan. Art by Santorni and colors by Matt Herms and Hi-Fi. Scott's dealing with a bunch of red energy because he drew upon the red energy. They minorly retcon Scott's powers to actually be an offshoot of the Owen Power Battery. It's just a different wavelength than the standard Green Lantern Corps. I don't know how I feel about that. That doesn't sit right with me.
That's different.
Especially because we tried so hard to differentiate Scott before.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see that the Russians have made their own Red Lantern Corps technology. So Alan and Vlad have to team up to try to take out the Crimson Fists.
Yeah.
Crimson Corps, some Russian thing. Good book. It's just, as a Green Lantern fan, some of this bothers me, but you know what? It's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
For indies, we're looking at Duke by Josh Williamson and Tom Riley, with art by Tom Riley, colors by Jordi Belair. We're just picking up where we left off last time. Duke. Baroness does not portray Duke. They fight their way out. Duke takes off from G.I. Joe and pretty much lands into Destro's hands.
So that's what happens. I kind of figured Baroness wasn't going to kill him.
Moving on over. First time I think we've looked at a Dark Horse book, but we are looking at Ghostbusters Back in Town. This is written by David Boer with art by Blue Delaquanti and colors by Mildred Lewis. This is the midquel that connects Afterlife to Frozen Empire. This is that 3-year gap between the two series, and we will be looking at Phoebe and Trevor and fill in some blanks of what's going on there. I'm also wondering if this is where we will also see Callie and Gary get married in this book. It's only about 4 issues long, but still necessary if you're a Ghostbuster fan. Wants to know what just happened in that 3-year span.
Nice.
Moving over to Marvel, we have the Thunderbolts issue 4. This is finale for this arc of Thunderbolts. This is written by Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, with art by Gerardo Borges, and colored by Arthur Helsey. As one of my favorite devices, which is the Doom Countdown. You don't know what's going to happen, and then it reaches 0, and then Dr. Doom just appears and ends everything.
And was pissed about being
And then
used.
Bucky just tells him, congrats, you're one of the Thunderbolts. Oh, yeah, no, Doom does not take kindly to that. Although, I am still unsure which Red Skull he kills, because I'm unsure if this is a man masquerading as the Red Skull, or if this is just like a clone or something.
My money's on clone.
Could be. At this point, I'm curious to see what they do, especially now that they've officially started filming for the movie. So I'm curious what story adapts or who even ends up in it at this point.
That would be interesting, though, to actually see a Red Skull clone in the movie. That Schmidt did actually succeed at something. That would be a different storytelling, but
well, this.
No, say it was. So what again, Joe?
Well, I think this is supposed to be the book that ties into the movie, because this Thunderbolts team minus Doom is the actual movie team.
Okay. So we might actually see if we see a Red Skull clone, that's not a bad idea.
I'll take a Doom bite.
Nothing wrong with that.
Next up, we got Rise of Powers of X. This is written by Karen Gilliam with art by R.B. Silva. And we finally have that long overdue talk between Charles and Moira. This cover is a bit of a lie, because Charles is talking to a very much 10-year-old Moira and is constantly pointing a gun at a child throughout most of this issue.
That was kind of disturbing.
Everything is going down around them. Still a good book. Answers a lot of questions. Yeah.
Very, very Pulp Fiction. That's about the best way I can describe this book. Very Pulp Fiction.
Oops, got some extras in here. Where's all the extra stuff? All right, guys, it's being a little funky. I don't know what's going on there. Next up, we got Ultimate Spider-Man, written by, and I don't know what's going on. Written by Mark Cicchetto, or Jonathan Hickman, art by Mark Cicchetto, and colors by Matt Wilson. What is going on? Like, it's...
I was gonna say, I think the Sony assassins are showing up.
There it goes. There's the cover.
Oh, you still good?
Well, the weird thing is in the file, those older covers are not in there.
That's weird. Unless Zuckerberg's screwing with us. But
yeah, blink. Okay. I guess. Okay, so anyways, Pete and May, his daughter, are trying to figure out costumes. Meanwhile, Jonah and Ben buy a new building for the newspaper. And then Spider-Man meets, in his new suit, meets the Green Goblin fighting Ultimate Bullseye.
Yeah, that was a good one. Although the end, I still call it when Harry met.
Fantastic book. If you're gonna read a Spider-Man book, this is the Spider-Man book to read.
Cool. When Harry met Peter, literally.
All right, so we can't get this one. Jackpot and Black Cat #1. This is actually not bad. I will go out on a limb for this one. This is an interesting life because this is pretty much just Mary Jane and Black Cat looking in on each other's lives, and this is more about Black Cat than actually is Mary Jane. This is actually a well-written book with good art. I still have problems with Mary Jane being Jackpot rather than answering some questions, but you also slowly starting to see her drift away from Paul, who's now just the man in the chair, and she's slowly starting to like lose interest in him. And you can see because they're still putting Peter and MJ in these certain situations where they are slowly starting to reconnect and rekindle. And she is, as I said earlier, starting to drift away from Paul. Meanwhile, Felicia's dealing with some things, and eventually the two are having to team up and keep an eye on each other for various reasons. So it's actually pretty decent.
I couldn't bring myself to read it. I tried. I couldn't. Just the fact that it's all, you know what? Let me say this. Let me say this before, because again, we don't judge. We do not judge whatever comic books you like. We really don't. We welcome all comic books. It's just me. I can't take Mary Jane seriously. Honestly, she should have been killed off 5 or 6 times already. Yeah. The fact that she's Jackpot and they gave her a story. I mean, I hear you, Joe. You know, it should be given an honest shot. I can't bring myself to read it. I tried my hardest. I couldn't. It just, yeah. Having most people look at the idea of Jackpot and Doom, yeah, more or less. Yeah, you already said it, Joe. More or less.
Bronzeman,
you already said it.
With art by Milo Lacio and colors by Brian Reber. I think it's trying to slowly behave.
Yeah.
There we go. So, Book of the Night. Miles Morales with us for 300. Probably one of the best written legacy characters. This man, we're going to say, is Spider-Man.
Fair.
More people recognize this was a fantastic issue.
Yeah, it was. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely that. The whole team up. He still wants to save Rabble, and I get that, but it comes to a point to where some people are just beyond saving.
Is this the one I've been reading everyone fight, like cry about because apparently Miles put out like a beam sword?
To that point at the end of the book. Yeah. We also learned that
Go ahead, Joe.
We also learned that Miles has been holding back almost this whole time, and apparently has everyone's been saying a Super Saiyan form this whole time, where he gets black and gold costume because of his bioelectricity venting through the suit. Yes, and even Scorpion and the Rhino both say it's like, no, the spiders always hold back for our safety.
Oh, my mind goes right back to Superior Spider-Man. He's been holding back this entire time. He could have killed us all. Yep, Tafari. Yu Hakusho sword mouse. I mean, he really was. But yeah, it's just, I get Miles. He wants to save everybody. The fact that he did get Scorpion and Rhino's level of respect does say a lot. But yeah, spider people always hold back. That's just a given. But still, great issue.
I mean, the fact that he's made friends with two Peter's mortal enemies has always made me happy, because the Scorpion respects the crap out of him, and the Rhino respects the crap out of Miles.
Yeah, which is true, but still good.
Tafari, you muted.
Tafari, yeah, if you were saying something, you're muted.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was looking. I had something else came up on my notifications.
Gotcha.
But I can hear the concert getting louder downstairs, so I've been keeping it muted.
It's that time again. It'd be good mixes.
It's rehearsal time, so I guess which means I'm probably gonna hear nothing all tomorrow.
Oh wow, that's a lot. But what else you got, Joe?
So, Tafari, did you get a chance to read this?
No, I saw this. I saw pretty much all the scans on Twitter though, and it was apparently causing a ruckus because people were mad at Super Saiyan Kuwabara Sword Miles. So
yeah,
I'm happy whenever comments make a buzz on the internet, because at least I know people are reading it or will go read it just to see what the hype is about.
I mean, it's Kuwabara-esque, but I think some people are just being picky on that. It's okay. I mean, it's not all the way.
No, I don't have anything else. Miles was book of the night.
Okay, cool. Well, again, but no, Kuwabara's sword and Miles Morales' sword, let's be honest. One is a spiritual, one is a spiritual, one is a biochemistry. We all can have swords. Let's just admit it at this point, everybody's okay to have a sword. That's all I'm saying. But thank you, Joe, for that. For the comic book pulls of the night, guys. As we are wrapping things
I should not be trusted with a sword.
You cannot be trusted with a sword. Not be trusted with a sword. That being said, guys, as we're going to wrap this up, Tafari, while we can still hear you, sir, you want to let people know where they can find you?
You can officially find me here on all platforms. I usually post skits on my page every Monday because Mondays are terrible, and I try to make them suck a lot less. Although I think I'm doing mine. Yeah, I'm actually going to be posting a new skit next Tuesday. We will celebrate or mourn the death of Funimation together. So always support physical media, support creators. I also do the editing for the Blurred's Eye View podcast. So be sure to check us out. We are on the up and up. I do a lot of the clips and edits for the behind the scenes work. I also have this page and all of the other pages affiliated with this link. So you go to the home tab, the whole crew is right there. You can find us all really easy, see who each of us are about. Otherwise, we are back to doing our Tuesday, Thursday shows. Not next week, but the second week of April. 7th week of April, we will make our grand return. Yeah, everyone have a good what is today? Because I didn't have it off.
Friday.
Yeah. Everyone have a good Friday. Good Friday, yeah. Happy ending of Lent. If you did something for Lent, God bless you. You made it.
Right. Man, that 4 days ain't nothing to mess with. Joe, would let people know what you're up to this weekend, sir, what you'll be doing.
Pray I can eat red meat again. I made it through Lent.
Hey, enjoy, sir. Although I'll be finding the biggest tomahawk steak I can find. But anyway, where can they find you, Joe?
You can find me over on Twitter at Joe Italian last name or Joe10LO. I keep forgetting which one it is. Then it's either Show a Guy Joe or Joe Italian last name. This weekend we will be reviewing and reacting, or reviewing and watching, whatever it is for you kids out there that watch those type of videos. For the new Super Sentai Boomboonger, it's episode 5. We get to see the Black Ranger finally make an appearance, who has been very wonderful man on Twitter, very friendly, very open, always answering my questions in the most broken English, but that's okay because I'm asking him everything I can in probably the worst Japanese he's ever read. But he's still able to answer what little he's allowed to reveal via, of course, NDA and whatnot. Plus, he's a cat dad, so that makes me even more happy that I can communicate with an actual actor like that.
Mm-hmm.
He probably will be having to go radio silence at some point, I would imagine, and that's okay. He's been wonderful to actually take the time and talk to somebody. Finale of Goro earlier. Which Goro? You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific there, Chief. There's like 8 of them now. Other than that, I'm on here. I'm streaming if I do get the chance to stream, because life is very tiring right now. I'm either working 8.5 to 9.5 hour days at the hospital. So plus I'm doing the Show Guy Joe stuff on Twitter and TikTok, and here the newest one, Air to Steel. Okay, cool. I didn't know that ended. Now I can finally sit down and watch all of it. I'm over at MTAC this weekend, helping out Saturday for a little bit, so you can catch me there. I'll be the guy with a morpher stripped my wrist. I actually went to the dealer room today, and I realized I'm too old for this dealer room.
I forgot MTAC is happening this weekend. Damn.
We got WeCon out here too, and I'm trying to.
One of my friends asked me, "What do you mean?"
So what? Joe. Say it again.
Oh, no, one of my friends was asking, "What do you mean?" It's like, what do you mean you're too old for the dealers? Like, well, I don't watch any of these animes. I'm too old to be buying a Master Sword or Kirito's sword, even though I would never buy Kirito's sword. I hate Sword Art Online, except for the abridged series. Mm-hmm. That's actually fun. I don't know what any of these Gundams are anymore. So, and none of the dealer rooms sell actual anime DVDs and whatnot. So, like, I think I'm too old for the dealer room now.
That I can see your point on that. But yeah. Well, I guess I'm next. So before I get into myself, I do some shameless plugging as usual. I always want to shout out to my boy Vaughn, a big BZA dot. Definitely check him out, BZA dot all social media, as he does have a beat page where beats are for sale. Definitely check him out there. Also, guys, I cannot leave this without not talking about Blur Station. For all those that did not know what Blur Station is basically, guys, what we've always wanted. You know, the thing that you usually get with Tubi, except the fact that Tubi is owned by Fox and Fox made a boatload of money off of us. Yeah, Blur Station is actually the opposite of that. What that is, guys, it is movies, it is television, it is anime, it is art. It is everything that we've always wanted in an actual media conglomerate. At the same time, guys, you can definitely check this out at blurstation.com. And to join now, just definitely hit the join now button. If you would do us a favor here, definitely go to the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership there. And basically any member that you see there in that list, select us all. It helps to go for the cause. At the same time, guys, it's $10.99 a month. $10.99 a month to basically watch Blur Station. You can watch Blur Station and still eat. That's a big thing. At the same time, guys, after 36 months of paying $10.99 a month, you will have the option to own a piece of Blur Station. Again, a piece of a media conglomerate. You can do the same thing with Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and all those things. You just have to have a boatload of money. You basically have to have an E-Trade or Fidelity investment account, and then from there, maybe get 1 or 2 shares. All that work for 1 or 2 shares, whereas 36 months of paying $10.99 a month for Blur Station. I'm sorry, that sounds like a better deal to me. And of course, with Blur Station, the beauty of Blur Station, guys, is that you get to own your content. All they ask for a piece of distribution. So if you do want to bring your content to Blur Station, you do have to join it first. But after you join it, you definitely can speak to those that actually run Blur Station, and you yourself can see your content running on Blur Station, being seen everywhere, wherever internet connection is found. To me, that's a beautiful thing. But definitely check that out. As for me, guys, you can definitely find me, Black_Spartan615 on all the socials. Usually doing reviews on everything and also doing gym stuff because I know I try to keep in shape. At least I try to. At the same time, guys, you can definitely find me the link at the bottom. I'll just make that a little bit bigger for you guys to see. If you copy and paste that link into your browser, we'll take you to my link tree that has the YouTube and Facebook groups for all my podcasts. How the Frack We Got Here, Get Bitten Off Those Podcasts. Like, share, subscribe, notifications. Just like PBS, guys, we cannot do this without you. So not just disliking. We know we appreciate the fact that you like the show, that you tell people about it, but do more. Like, share. We're not asking for donations, although we're not against it either. But a like, a share, a follow costs nothing. And I do mean cost nothing, but it would give us so much appreciation for you, letting us trying to grow these things into what we think can be beautiful, beautiful vehicles of fandom. Beautiful vehicles of fandom. I got to keep that in mind. But definitely check us out. At the same time, guys, again, like, share. Let us know what you think of everything that we talked about tonight, because we still want your opinions on everything. And like I said, guys, we cannot do this without you. So we thank you for all that liked, that watched, that shared, that let people know this was live. We certainly do appreciate it. We will definitely be back here, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, with news of the week, trailers of the week, and of course, comic pulls of the week, and whatever else happens in the world of geekdom and fandom. But Tafari, Joe, any last words for we call tonight, sirs?
You can all enjoy red meat again. Congratulations.
Joe?
I can't. It means I can get a burger tomorrow. I can't. It means I can get a burger tomorrow.
I mean, hey, priorities. I can't knock it. Well, with that being said, guys, the last thing we usually say here on Get Bit, we are all about fandoms. We know them. We love them. We talk about them. We debate them. We argue them. The last thing we want to be is toxic gatekeepers or put down folks that simply have different tastes than us. We don't want to be anything like that. We want to be welcoming, especially to people that are new to animes, new to comics, new to everything, because again, everybody can be a fan of something and you can be passionate about it. You can defend it, but don't be a dick about it. That's all we're saying. So with that being said, guys, we're going to definitely call it a night. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for letting people know about this. This will basically be back on live on the repeats tomorrow. Aside from that, I've been Will. That's been Joe. That's been Tafari. This has been the Give It Podcast for the night, guys. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Happy Easter. You know, if you get candies and bunnies and all that stuff. I forgot I got kids. I got to do that now. Anyway.
Discount on Monday.
Dang. Yeah, discount. Hey, well, I have to say that, but I got kids. Anyway.
Walmart's not about to sell all them chocolate crosses. Discounts coming.
Chocolate cross. Good night, everybody.